So the 2023 Outstanding Service Award, and again, for those of you who haven't been to a meeting in a few years, this was established in 2021, and to once again give credit where it's due, Mike Kelly, this was really his brainchild several years ago, that we should be doing more recognition of the volunteers that put in so much time for AABC. And you can see the intent is to recognize a small number of members who have contributed significantly to AABC's programs and overall mission over the previous year, whether that's committee service, presentations, publications, anything else that has a positive effect on AABC and its mission and goals. So this year, that award is going to Jeremy Johnson with American Testing, Inc. And I want to say that this is a little bit unusual in the way this came about, because Jeremy joined the board last year at this time. That's not why he's winning this award. He's just a board member, you know, and he's doing all of that work that he assumed starting last October when he became the Zone 1 Vice President. This is actually because on top of all of those new things and investigations and meetings and phone calls and everything else, he is the Marketing Committee Chairman. He co-authored a significant tab article for Healthcare Facilities Today. He was a volunteer at the AABC booth at our yearly presentations at AHR Expo. He did a presentation at the Tab and Commissioning Seminar this past May, and he moderated a recent Tab Talk webinar as well that he did jointly with Galen. And he also reviews submissions for AABC's Tab Project Spotlight, which is a new social media program to highlight members' significant or interesting projects, again, just to get some more exposure for AABC. So that's that's a lot for anybody, and for somebody who also just took all on his shoulders everything that he did to be a member of the board, started the first of his 14 years. That's a tremendous amount. It's not normal. It's outstanding, and therefore he is our award winner. So Jeremy, come on up. Congratulations. Thank you, Jeremy. And so now onto the Hall of Fame. And this again is something that we established, for all that AABC is a fairly old organization. We're approaching 60 years old. The Hall of Fame is a new thing that was established in 2021. Again, an extension of what Mike wanted to do. And this year we're only doing one induction. But what I want to do here first briefly is just revisit what we've already done in the past couple of years. And again, especially for those of you who may not have been here for the last couple of years. So we've been inducting people in two categories: historical inductees, which are, again, people from long in the past of AABC, people who are not around anymore. And what we did is in 2021, we inducted the three principal founders of AABC, Arnold Pearl, Walt Lipsky, and Taylor Cahoe. And the following year, we followed that up by adding George Young and George Coltis, who were also very pivotal figures in AABC's earliest years after the association was launched in 1965. You can read more and kind of summaries about them on the AABC website. In the About section, there's a separate section for the awards and for the Hall of Fame. I'd encourage you to take a look and read if you hadn't heard of these people before, if you've missed this in the last couple of years. It's worth seeing what the people who built this organization, what they took on their shoulders, and the amount of work and time that they put in, so that we can all still be here today, still doing this with the same organization, with the same mission, and thriving really as never before. It's nice to think about, these guys, kind of all looking down and smiling and saying, it's like, all right, what we built lasted, and that's a good thing. It's an important thing. So the other category we've been doing is modern inductees, and these are folks who are obviously with us still. And first induction we did was in 2021. We inducted just one. We gave the members a choice of three, and they elected George Ebert, who's was the longtime custodian, 30 plus years of the AABC TBE exam. He did all the grading. He updated the exam, notes, comments, helped people with what they got wrong, how they could improve, how they could approach the test better the next time. Tremendous amount of effort. And then last year, we inducted both Joe Baumgartner, the longtime custodian and still of Tab Journal. He does all the technical review on all of the articles that you submit. We do a lot of the straight editing, but Joe reviews each and every one of those to make sure that it's accurate, that it's up to AABC standards, that it follows AABC standards, things like that. And of course, we nominated the man standing right here, who you just heard from, Galen Richardson, for, again, a list of things this long. That was the reasons that he was inducted. So that is who we put in the first couple of years. And I just want to note that the board kind of consciously decided to skip a modern inductee this year. We're kind of moving some chess pieces around to plan for the big meeting in 2025, which is AABC's 60th anniversary, and to have some significant people to induct at that meeting. So this year, just a historical inductee. And after a lot of discussion, long discussion, they moved this around because there still are a lot of figures that absolutely deserve this honor. They chose to honor Mr. Ted Cohen. And so for Ted, and you can read a little summary on Ted again in your booklet. Ted was president of AABC from 1990 to 1992. He was on the standards committee for the 4th edition of the standards that was published in 1982. Was an AABC member for 45 years, 1968, so just 3 years after it was founded, he joined until his retirement in 2013. And since we've been talking about Tab Journal a lot, I think it's worth noting that Ted was a tremendous champion of Tab Journal. Tab Journal was launched in the middle of Ted's presidency. It was significantly his brainchild. He thought that this was important. He thought it was important for ABC to get its expertise out into the industry in a different way. So we might not have Tab Journal today if he hadn't thought that was important enough to push for and spend time on. So again, it's significant, and I think it's another kind of thing where I'm thinking I hope Ted is proud. I hope he would be proud to see that it's still going strong, something that he put a lot of time and thought into more than 30 years later, and it's helping people keep their certifications up. It's helping younger test and balance professionals keep their knowledge up, all of these things. So, it took one guy principally to have that idea 30 plus years ago. And it's still rolling along now. So that's a huge part of his legacy for AABC. And as is noted in the booklet there, he made a lasting mark on AABC. His technical acumen, but also just his manner. He was very professional. He had a very gentlemanly kind of way about him that was just a pleasure. Wonderful guy to talk to. I only had the chance to meet him a handful of times. He had started to move toward retirement, I guess we could say, already by the time I had started. Occasional phone calls, saw him at meetings. Just a wonderful guy to talk to, a pleasure. And both Galen and Brian Venn are going to have a few things to say about him personally, since they knew him better and in a different capacity. But what I can say is that he had such a great sense of humor, and he just obviously valued his association with AABC so very much, and it came through a lot, even when he was no longer as frequently involved. So Ted did unfortunately pass away only just a few years ago in 2019. He was 95, but we are very proud to induct him today into the AABC Hall of Fame, and we are also very fortunate to have his son Howard with us today, who flew here from New York for no other purpose than to come and accept this honor on behalf of his dad. So Howard, could you please come up, and Galen can present the award on AABC's behalf.
Well, I had the great honor of working with Ted. Started all the way back to TC 9.7, which was test and balancing. It's now 7.7. And then we worked on several different things in AABC. But what I always enjoyed working with Ted on these committees, he listened. But he was a great debater. And he knew his stuff, buddy. I mean, he could tell you exactly how things worked, and he would give you his reasons. And you better have your homework done when you went up against him. You probably saw that as a father figure, too.
Yeah.
But he was a great guy, like Ray said, had a super sense of humor. And I think one of my favorite times spent with Ted was when we went to the ball game and saw the Orioles play up in Camden Yards. That was a fantastic trip. He just enjoyed the living heck out of that ball game and had a great time. Everybody with us had a great time with him, so that was one of my cherished moments. Would you like to say a few things?
Thanks, Galen. Dad remained a lifelong Brooklyn Dodgers fan long after they decamped to Los Angeles. Used to take me to see the Mets play the Dodgers every time they were in town, and the Giants, my boyhood favorite team. I'm gratified that he was able to get in, like the Baseball Hall of Fame here, through the Veterans Committee. Now, this is really an incredible honor. He would be incredibly proud. I know how much the AABC and ASHRAE meant to him all these years, and it was wonderful for me to speak last night with you guys, with some of his former colleagues and friends who told wonderful stories and things that they learned from him and through his wisdom and years of experience. And I can't tell you how much this means to me, and it would mean to him and my mother. I will cherish this. There's another award he got some years ago that I have displayed in my apartment. I forget exactly what it was for. It's also quite beautiful, and this will be proudly displayed next to it.
That was for writing the standards.
Oh, right. Okay. I do remember that. And thank you and Ray for inviting me down and for your hospitality, and everybody for welcoming me here. So thank you so much again.
Thank you, Howard.
I was just asked to talk a little bit about in my experience with Mr. Cohen. That's what he was known to me.
Me too.
Yes, exactly. Very professional, always well-dressed. I will always remember this fondly, came to a paper mill plant dressed in a suit. It had to be 120 degrees in there. And it didn't seem to faze him. And he didn't wear boots, so he had the little, the cups that would go over for the steel toes. And walking around that paper mill with me, he wasn't afraid to get dirty or get involved in, more than anything as a young tech, he gave me confidence working with him. I appreciate that.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you again for coming, and we just honored the heck out of you.
Thank you,
All right.
Galen.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here, Howard.